Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Montre. So today I want to talk about the Mandela effect in numerology in regards to what happens to people with when they have a direct name change. If you've been watching my past videos, I've been really trying to keep you guys up to date on what's been going on with numerology. Numerology, I think, is a really cool way to understand the timing of things, the patterns of things. Everything's like a number, even your name and names of things. Uh, and those aspects change when you change your name. When people get married and they change their name, aspects of your life change because there is a number vibration for every letter. Or if you change the spelling of your name, uh, everything is attached to a number, and those numbers mean things. There are vibrations, there are frequencies, and so even your name has a frequency to it with the spelling and the vibration of everything. So I'm not going to get too deep on numerology, but we're going to talk about the Mandela effect and a few people whose names have changed. Of course, we know like the Berenstain family, uh, from Stain to Steenstein to Stain, Bearstein Bears. That's their actual family name. So the difference between a family name changing and, let's say, your first name is going to have more of a personal effect on you versus if the family name changes and it has a more long-term familiar aspect. It's affecting more than one person. So uh, you're going to see a whole family on how they act change. Okay, so one particular person I wanted to look up is Megyn Kelly. Now, Megyn Kelly's was on Fox News, and I remember her name distinctly being spelled with an A, and now it's changed with the Y. I want you to look up Megyn so you guys can see. This is from Cabularians.com. They basically analyze names based upon numerology, and they give you a good, I guess, readout of your personality, so you can look up your own name if you like. So here's Megyn. The first name Megyn gives you a responsible, systematic, and practical nature. Able to excel in technical fields as a teacher, and you can enjoy the practical arts. Being methodical, you work best where you have the time to do a good job. Although you can be fussy at times, finding it difficult to react spontaneously to new ideas from others. You rebel at being rushed or put under pressure. That is when you become somewhat flexible. You appreciate home and settled conditions and take a lot of responsibility to ensure that your home life functions efficiently. The name restricts the innate expression of artistic and musical nature. So this is when she was working for Fox News. Okay, and she was very conservative. I didn't like Megyn Kelly. I used to watch Fox News at work. I was doing social media, and we would have Fox News and CNN up. Didn't like Megyn Kelly for a while. So then she started growing on me. That's when I noticed that her name was spelled differently, and I was like, what? Her name was not spelled with a Y before. Let's go back and look at what Megyn with the Y is. And Megyn with the Y is a very unique way of spelling Megyn. And I would definitely have noticed this a little bit earlier, especially when you don't. I remember things that are very emotional to me. This is how my brain works. When I either love something or if I really hate something, I tend to remember it. So I'm an emotional rememberer. I don't know if that's a word. An emotional rememberer. I remember things by how I feel about them. So if it's something I really love or if it's something I really hate, I typically set it to memory, or I remember things based upon my emotional memory. So I didn't like Megyn Kelly, and of course she was sticking my head a lot. You know, there's a thin line between love and hate, but I really love her now. But a Megan with the Y is a very, if you look at the way you spell it, it's very like kind of like woman, like Gyna. So I find it very unique just to have a name spelled like that. But yeah, now when I don't remember her name being spelled like that before, that would have stood out too much. So the name Megan with the Y, the influence makes you positive, self-assertive, and independent. That's exactly who she is now. She's got her own talk show on NBC, real go-getter. She was outspoken about what happened to her at Fox. I think it was like a sexual harassment thing. So there's some crazy stuff going on. You can be creative, inventive, and ingenious in practical matters such as handicrafts. When you have the opportunity to pursue your own goals and interests free from interference, you can be very agreeable and express a buoyant optimism. On the other hand, you can be impulsive and forceful when opposed and act without due forethought and discretion. Hence, you may have many bitter experiences. Remember, she had that run-in with Trump. She was going back and forth with him. And generally rather unsettled conditions in your life. Skip a little bit. You cannot tolerate any dominion by others or circumstances that restrict your freedom and independence. Thus, she has her own show now. She had a show on Fox, but now she's really got a major show on NBC. When annoyed or offended, you can be very candid and sarcastic in speech. Many disruptions in friendships and associations thus have resulted. Verbal expression is difficult for you, and you can be forthright in situations requiring delicacy, even though it is not your intention to be. So, Megan with the Y makes her far more creative, more outgoing as a leader. I do believe that last name probably adds to her strength. Like I said, family names typically are kind of your foundation to how you're raised and kind of those belief systems that how your whole family acts, where your first name is more personalized to you. So those names all have vibrations and numbers that are assigned to them, starting like the letter A is number 1, B is number 2, so on and so forth through the alphabet. All those numbers get assigned, so your own first name has its own number. So this is a really cool site. You guys should really check it out. I want to check out another person. Well, let's look up, before I look up any last names, we're going to do another one. Linda Carter, another name that definitely I was like, this name has changed. I used to love watching Wonder Woman as something that I loved watching Wonder Woman as a kid, and such a fan of Linda Carter. So to see that her name changed from Linda to Linda with a Y, once again, Y is popping up. Megan with a Y. Now Linda Carter is spelled with a Y, but don't remember that. So Linda with the I, this is how I remember her name being spelled, has made you a hard worker, meticulous sense of detail. You have a great sense of patience and independence. You can be relied on to complete your undertakings. You're stable, trustworthy, home-loving, but rather unresponsive to suggestions from others. You resist change. The names does not give you great ambitions, vision, or imagination. It frustrates your expression of your softer feminine qualities if you find it difficult to express the depth of your feelings for those you love. It limits you to practical matters of the day, filling your life with detailed routine, hard work, and monotony. Sounds like Linda was pretty boring before. But also, I want to say, like, when these people, their names change, I find that they get more out in the public more. I hadn't seen Linda Carter on TV for a while. Now, with Linda with the Y, I've been noticing that she's been having more in movies, and ever since Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman came out, she's been more out in the forefront. So let's see what Linda with the Y, how much has changed her personality, since Linda with the I was pretty much boring. Okay, Linda with the Y. And this is how it's spelled now. Your name Linda gives you the ability to be creative. Your ideas can be very original and inventive. You enjoy being with people and in a social environment. Your personal appearance is very important to you, for you desire to make a good impression on others. Your pleasant manner attracts people to you with their problems, and you're capable of offering practical advice, even though you probably would not follow such advice yourself. It's funny. The name causes you to be somewhat too concerned with the personalities, problems, and activities of other people. You seem positive and decisive. Procrastination is your downfall. You frequently choose the path of least resistance. So she's more social with the Linda with the Y. And I told you, like, it seems like I've been seeing her more out in public, like doing more cameos, more movies. Linda with the Y. Before, all I remember is she did Wonder Woman. 1 or 2 interviews after that. Linda with the Y, since the Mandela effect of the quantum shift, she's been on a lot of superhero popping up as superhero cameos. A lot of movies and TV shows, CW, stuff like that, popping up on different things. So I find that interesting, and I think that quantum shift actually affected her life and made her make different decisions. So same thing with like I said, it happens more personally with the first names. When it happens with people's last names, it's more a long-term effect. And so I'm really questioning, how does that affect, on a butterfly effect? If people's names change, their personality changes, their decisions change, how they react to things. If a family name changes, it's a group of people who are changing their ideas and how they do things. So it makes me wonder how much of time has changed, if with these quantum shifts happening and you're actually seeing people's names change. Desi Arnaz to Desi Arnaz. I remember he was in trouble for a lot of abuse, even though him and Lucy still divorced. I'd like to go back and see if he was as abusive as I remember him in my reality, or did they divorce for something else? So that's another project I'm going to look up. Didn't know the Berenstein family very well. Charles Schultz, another one whose name changed or shifted. Be curious to see. Maybe there's something different he did with Peanuts, Charlie Brown. I don't know. I find it really curious. Anyways, guys, be sure to check out this website. It's caballarians.com. You can look up your name, see what it means. Check out the numerology of that. Because I like to just wrap it all back up to numerology. Numerology is a very good tool to use to figure out things. The secrets behind our birthdays, phone numbers, your name, stuff like that. So I've probably gone long enough. If you have any questions, be sure to leave me a comment and tell me what you think about this video. And make something happen, because if you don't do it, then who will?